Kid. I just want to say thank you for being a guest on my talk show.
Yeah, thank you, dude. It's awesome to be here, man.
Now, for people who want to know what uncensored is, uncensored, it's my way of proving to people, even with a learning disability, I can overcome controversy and reach my goals in life. At the same time, turning myself into a perfect example for people out there deaf, blind, or in a wheelchair. But you should never label yourself or have people label you, and you should prove to them you can still amount to something no matter what.
No, dude, you're absolutely right, man. And, like my only, I don't really have, like, any disabilities in that sense. I mean, besides just, like, my talking, my talking isn't the best. I tend to stutter my words a lot, things like that. And, like, growing up, man, just, like, my dad used to always tell me, like, hey, you're a crack baby, you're never going to be as good as me, things like that. And, it's like, it really took me, like, the past 5 years to realize that, my parents aren't really that cool. And, the apple really doesn't fall that far from the tree. But, in a sense, you don't have to become exactly like your parents, you know what I mean? You're not going to become, like, you could everybody, you're going to become what you're going to be, like, everybody has a destination out there to become,
Yeah, no problem. No, I agree with you, absolutely. And actually, I don't know if you guys are friends, but I interviewed one of your colleagues, James Rowley.
James Riley? Fucking Riley?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember him. I don't remember from which state. He probably lives in Jersey, right?
Think so.
Yeah. I go state to state, so like it all kind of just blends into like one big clusterfuck of wrestling.
Well, he was my first independent wrestler I interviewed.
Oh, that's pretty cool. So I guess like it went well. You decided to keep on going on with the wrestlers.
That's true. I started off interviewing voiceover actors, and I started, like I said, voiceover actors, actresses. I recently started interviewing CEOs. So I pretty much interview anyone who wants to have a normal conversation.
That's pretty cool.
And I tried talking to the guy who was in charge of, East Coast Pro Wrestling?
Yeah, Gino Carcerello.
And, it's sometimes, I'm able to get him, but, I'm playing phone tag. And there's the other one. His name is Mike. He's the Northeast Pro Wrestling. He's the owner. And I asked him, I'll go on Facebook, can I interview a couple wrestlers? And he didn't really give me a straight answer. He's like, if they want to, but, because I asked him, can I come in early and sit down with you guys? And he was kind of vague about that. So I said, okay, well, I'm going to do it this way.
Yeah, this way works. A lot easier, right?
It's true. But it would be nice to do it in person, too.
Yeah, that could be cool.
Now, the next question I was going to say to you was, when we first started, you looked at the camera, and it's like, I didn't know I had Chris Jericho on my talk show.
Yeah, man, a lot of people, they said I got the Chris Jericho look. Some people even say, like, Shawn Michaels at times. But, in the ring, I actually do, like, a lot of old school, like, 90s Chris Jericho style, like, I could even do, like, the backflip from inside the ring to the outside the ring, like, on the ropes. And, like, he used to, like, do this backflip, like, where he springboarded off the rope.
Oh, the lion salt.
Did backflip. Yeah, he did a lion salt, but to the outside of the ring. And I actually accomplished that back in August. I was able to do it 2 times. Even though the second time, only one person caught my legs, and I kind of landed on my head on the grass. But it still worked out. I know I can do it as long as I have people, as long as I see them in a certain spot, I know I could do the flip and land on top of them now. So it's pretty cool. I really want to start executing that move a lot more often. Well, when I get fully back in the ring full time, Right now I'm still taking a break because, I had a little knee injury about a year ago, last November. And actually, as soon as my right knee healed up, I started jogging, which I never jog. I usually do, like, squats. I'll do, like, 200 squats in the shower. Or I'll, like, do, like, jumping on rocks. Like, I don't really jog, but I, like, jump. And, like, jumping, man, it's just like jogging. Like, it gives you, like, that stamina so you're ready to go. And actually, I jogged on Route 1. I went maybe about 2 miles. And on the way back, man, just my left knee started hurting. And just every time I picked it up, it just started, I don't know what the hell was going on. And so I ended up going to therapy, and now they said it might be like a tissue around my kneecap or something. So, right now I'm doing physical therapy, trying to work on that, and, really just trying to get up to 100% again so I could get back in the ring and do my lucha full time,
Yeah, absolutely. I do have a request for you after the show, if you don't mind.
Yeah, what's that?
I was interested in interviewing more wrestlers. Maybe if you're interested, we can hang out at the ring and you can show me the wrestling moves. And if you're interested in training people, I would pay you for your time.
Well, I wouldn't know where we would be able to do that off the top of my head. I know, I guess there's some places you can get ring time and all. But, we could probably work something out.
No, I didn't mean to impose on you. I apologize.
No, it's not. No, it's not that. I'm sure we could work something out. I do like training people. I've been doing wrestling for 8 years of my life, and at one point, I really thought that wrestling was legit the only thing that I was good at and the only thing that I could do. Is just driving to my shows like 5 hours back. I was good at doing that, and just like wrestling, and just, that's it. Like that was my entire life. And really the past year, I've been doing a lot more in my life. I started playing guitar and all that type of stuff. So like the guitar is pretty sweet. My dad's a musician, or I don't know, I think like this is his guitar over here. He has like a nice something, but I don't know. He always played guitar. He's always in rock bands and all that stuff. And I don't know, my dad's like a real dick. He was a good musician. He was an awesome guitar player. He could play with his teeth behind his back and all that shit. But he was just a shitty ass father. And, I told that to him, I'm not going to lie. That's another thing. I stopped lying, too, the past year. I've been, I'm really just trying to become myself and find out who I am. And, when you lie and bullshit everybody, it's just, then you got, fear to hide behind. Because then you got, a lie to hide behind. And it's well, fuck that. It's just negative energy. So I've just been trying to be a lot more positive in life and, just try to truly be happy, man. Spread out the love. And, when you give out love, that's exactly what you receive in return,
No, absolutely. And I am always upfront. It's always better to be upfront with people.
Yeah.
Now, the next question I was going to ask you is, who influenced you to become a wrestler, and what federations have you worked for, and what belts did you have the chance to win?
Alright. I guess, influences, the Undertaker always influenced a lot of people, you know what I mean? Just, his gimmick. Yeah, that's what, captures you into wrestling. It's, the gimmick. And then, with Chris Jericho with, his abilities and, even with his mouth, he could talk, too. Jeez, man. Yeah, there's so many, awesome, even, Scotty 2 Hotty, man, I used to do the worm when I was 10 years old just because of him. So a lot of guys kind of influenced me in a way. I remember back when I was probably maybe 7 years old or 8 years old. I was just flipping through the channels, man, and I just came upon SmackDown, Thursday Night SmackDown, and it was The Rock and Earl Hebner against DX, and I was like, holy shit, this is awesome, Oh, jeez. Man.
No, I agree. The first person who influenced me, there's a lot of people, but the one person
Hey, hold on a minute. I'm doing an interview for wrestling right now, but...
I ain't worried about what you're doing. I gotta get the dog out.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Alright, watch
I
the
know
other
they...
one.
Yeah. Come on.
Good boy.
Thank you, man. Hey, sorry about that, dude.
How'd you get out?
I think there's probably something in the fence.
Check it out. Make sure they don't...
Yeah. Alright, thank you, man. Yeah, actually, I'm at my father's house right now, and he has these Rottweilers and all that stuff, and they tend to get out and jump over the fence and all that. So,
well,
I kind of had a feeling they were out there for a while.
Like I said, anything can happen live.
Yeah, right?
So I was saying, there's a lot of people, like you were saying, same thing for me, who influenced me, The Undertaker, Shawn Michaels. But the one that actually impacted my life would be the Harts. I was a big fan of Bret Hart and Owen.
That's cool. I'm more of a lucha wrestler in a way, in a sense. I like Chris Jericho stuff. He does some submissions here and there, but then it's a lot more fast paced and it's more fast-paced and agile, and just like submission wrestling, the technical wrestling, like Bret Hart and like Owen Hart would do. I mean, in a sense, like, don't get, not like, like they would excite me in ways, like, like I'd be like, holy shit, what the hell did he just do? But I don't know, I kind of get like bored with technical wrestling. It just doesn't really entertain me like, like the fast pace does. And yeah, I can do it. I can do old school wrestling. I can do everything. I just rather prefer lucha nowadays.
Now you mean like the cruiserweights, right?
I mean, I guess I'm technically a cruiserweight. Yeah, I'm like about 170 pounds. So.
Well, I'm only 170.
Yeah.
Well, I guess that would. I guess we're in the same boat, being cruiserweights.
Yeah. I suppose so. So like being a cruiserweight, man, that's it's not like Hulk Hogan where I can just like go out there and just punch a guy a couple times, give him a big boot, everybody goes wild, and drop a leg drop 1, 2, 3. It's like, nah, I gotta go out there and do a fucking backflip. Then I gotta do another fucking flip, and you know what I mean? I gotta do a hurricanrana on top of that, just to get like the same kind of reaction out as like Hulk Hogan would with one single punch. You know what I mean? So that's like, that's like the size difference right there.
And or John Cena on the 5 moves of doom.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, while on the subject of cruiserweights, there's a lot of great people like Chris Jericho, Eddie Guerrero, Rey Mysterio, Ultimo Dragon. I miss the cruiserweights.
Yeah. I mean, the cruiserweight division it was good back in the WWE. Like, I don't know why they ever took it away. I guess they just wanted bigger guys there.
That's true, but then it gets boring after a while.
In a sense. I mean, yeah. I mean, WWE can do whatever the hell they want, They just do whatever the hell they want. It doesn't matter. They got the ratings, you know what I mean? They got everything they need.
That's true.
So,
now the next question.
Cruiserweight. They don't really need like cruiserweights and guys like me like going out there and giving 100%, because like the whole show, it's not about each match being 100% fucking awesome. It's all about a lead up to the main event. You know what I mean? So like a guy like me, I guess when I wrestle at like certain like independent promotions, I go out there and I give it my all just because this is my match, this is what I do, this is what I love doing. I want to be happy. I'm not going to be happy if I go out there and give 50%. You know what I mean? Just so the next match will look better than mine. No, I'm going to go out there and do 100% because I want I want to have a good match. I want to entertain myself. I want to accept the challenge, and you know what I mean?
No, I agree. Now, the next question I was going to ask you is, have you ever gotten a chance to win any titles?
Yeah. Let's see, I think my first title that I won was the SWF heavyweight title out in Eden, North Carolina. I had that. I had it for like 3 months. I defended it a few times, and then the promotion just like shut down, and like EWA took over in a sense. After that, I probably got on like my Facebook where I probably had about like 7 titles. I'm at my dad's house right now. He just happens to have this picture. I don't know if it's like really focused on it. But this is me like with short hair, maybe like 2-3 years ago at the high school, the South Brunswick High School where I actually went to, and I won like the tag team titles over there.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, I was wrestling at GXW in Richmond, Virginia. It was like mainly like Richmond, like Hopewell, Virginia. And I think I won the GXW Respect title up there, so that was pretty cool. That showed, I guess, respect in a way. Like, here, you got the Respect title. We respect you. That's cool. I think there was like one night, I think it might have even been EWA. I was in like North Carolina, and they just put me in like a 6-man match. And I just happened to win the match, and I won like the EWA free-for-all title for one night only, I guess, because I never really went back there. Then with NWS, that was a real big place in Jersey for quite a few years, man. They had all the big names. And they ended up shutting down not too long ago, which sucks for me because I was like out of a job in a way, and JCW kind of took over. And I'm not working with JCW because a year ago, actually, right before I injured my knee, I went and did a EC. All right. I had a FWF show on Saturday, and I had a JCW show on Friday. And and I was there. I just happened to be with my boy Darkside, and we were just, we were hanging out, and we ended up like smoking in the back, and his like big ass comes back in the locker room, just walks right past the promoter. The promoter's just like, "What's that stink? You guys stink. You guys freak. You guys gotta get out of here." I mean, he was booked with them the next night, so he was able to come right back. But me, I was with FWF the next night, and that was like their rivalries. So, they didn't really want me back yet. I mean, I'm sure there'll always be another opportunity to, get back in JCW if I choose to. But just right now, I'm really just focusing on myself, and not really trying to like hit up a bunch of promotions, be like, "Hey, could you guys use me for this or that?" You know what I mean? I really want to get my body to 100%, and I don't know, maybe even go to a wrestling school.
Well, there's a bunch of them. I know.
I had a friend named Shane Swerve Strickland, who I wrestled with at GXW in Richmond, and he ended up blowing up in CZW. He went to CZW, and I like catch up with him on Facebook, and he's doing his thing, man. He's wrestling all over the place, and that's awesome, man. He made a good choice by going to CZW. I could have done that a long time ago. Just I never did. I don't know why. You know what I mean? I was just wrestling on the independent scene for about maybe like 6 years or so, and just nonstop.
Now, for people who want to know what the difference from independent to professional,
I was just, thinking other things. I don't know. Any other questions?
Yeah, well,
did I fully cover that one question? I don't know what it was. I don't remember. I don't recall.
No, it's fine. Well, what's the difference between working independent and
Hold up a sec. Actually, something messed up the volume. Hello?
Yep, I'm here.
Okay, now I can hear you better.
So what's the difference between working for WWE and TNA than working independent?
Well, when you work independent, you're completely on your own. When you were at I don't know if you were WWE or TNA, you're with a home. You got somewhere to belong. They're going to tell you everywhere where to go. It's they fill in your entire week for you. And when you're working on independence, it's just you got to fill in your entire week yourself. And it's mainly just by filling in, okay, Saturday there, Sunday there, Friday here. Maybe you get lucky, do a Tuesday show over there. And, with WWE, it's you're constantly working, and you're constantly doing events. And, I don't know, to get WWE means you fucking made it. With my size, hell, I could probably get to WWE. I know, when I get in the ring, man, I'm fucking good, dude. I'm good at wrestling, man. That was for 8 years, that was the only thing that I could truly do was fucking wrestle my fucking ass off. And I couldn't do anything else. And, now I could do a bunch of other things, because the past year I've been, taking off wrestling, and I've been, focusing on myself. But, I don't know. If anything, I really hope I could, get to TNA or Japan, Mexico. That's my goals. I think, the next year or two. I'm 24 now. So June 21st, I'll be 25, and I'm giving myself till I'm about 26 to really get to somewhere so I'll be able to do this as a straight up profession for the rest of my life,
Yeah, I agree. I know for TNA you have to be in Florida, and for NXT you have to be in Orlando, Florida too.
Yeah. I actually had a few friends recently go down to NXT, and they're doing awesome there, but they're also a lot bigger guys. I even had one friend, George Santee, go down to a WWE tryout last year, or maybe it could have been last year, maybe 2 years ago. I don't know. My time's all mixed up, but I remember when he went down there. I think it was right after the Olympics got shut down for wrestling. So WWE had all these Olympic athletes come down, and I think there's 14 of them that came down. And George Santee is fucking good. He's a really great wrestler, and on the independent scene that is. And they had 14 fucking Olympic guys, and I heard 6, 7 of them got signed for for development contracts.
No, that's true. Now, you mentioned, about the gimmicks and everything. Now, do you think, not to hurt your chances WWE or TNA, but do you think the gimmicks hurt the wrestlers, or do you think it depends on the person?
think the gimmick hurts the wrestlers?
It depends. So I give you a perfect example. You know, like Cody Rhodes was just Cody Rhodes and he sucked. And now he's Stardust and he's amazing. Do you think the gimmicks help or do you think they hurt?
Well, I mean, with Cody Rhodes in particularly, he doesn't really have. I don't think he really has like that much of a personality. Like, I mean, maybe even like me too. Like when he's out there, he's just Cody Rhodes. You know, he's just some fucking dude. You know, so like, you know, him, he needs a gimmick. But then, you know, guys like Brock Lesnar, I mean, he's fucking Brock fucking Lesnar. You know, I mean, he's a fucking badass. You know what I mean? So like, that's a gimmick in itself right there.
That's true. Now it's like John Cena. Do you think he's, you know, a lot of people refer him as the modern day Hulk Hogan. Do you think he should go back into being the Doctor of Thugonomics, or do you think he's at the point of his career that he has to basically do whatever the company tells him to do?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think he's ever going to go back to like rapping and freestyling. I mean, he used that to get to where he's at now. Could you hear the phone calls when I get them?
Yeah.
Yeah. I got like people constantly hitting me up and shit.
Now the next question I was going to ask you is, because you're from New Jersey, where do you spend most of your free time? By what promotionals, wrestling workouts, or gyms do you go to? Like East Coast Pro Wrestling, IWF?
Actually, I never been to IWF. I trained with the guy who runs it, Kevin Knight, at a NWS show, like before the show, like a few times. I've been to ECPW quite a few times. Like mainly like years ago, maybe like 3-4 years ago, I went to ECPW a few times. I even went to BWO, Body Slam Organization Wrestling. It's like also somewhere in New Jersey. I don't know, I mean, I've done training like in Maryland. I mean, I originally started training in Maryland at the House of Pain in Hagerstown, Maryland, under John Rambo back in 2006. That was like my original like trainer and everything. And a lot of people are like surprised. They're like, "Holy crap! What? You were trained by John Rambo? Like he's old school as fuck." And like, and I don't do like really any old school wrestling. I mean, I don't know, you could probably see like little hints of like things that John Rambo showed me, you know, every now and then. Like, you know, my clotheslines and my body slams. I don't do it like anybody else in Jersey because I was trained by John. You know. And I also trained at like Gilbert's wrestling school. Oh man, I'm trying to think of this. There's like a real good place out in North Carolina. Jesus. You want to hate me for not fucking remembering the damn name. Like, I've been there so many times. I mean, dude, like, on the independent scene, I probably wrestled for, well, yeah, I know, like, 2 years ago, I wrestled for, like, over 40 different promotions. You know, just getting myself out there. Just, you know, like, you know, fuck it, might as well just keep, like, you know, just keep getting booked, keep doing shows for the hell of it, you know?
No, I agree with you.
I mean, I used to say to myself, I can't remember these names. I can't remember your face. I can't remember your name and your face. You know what I mean? But it's like, now I've been trying to use my brain a lot more, so I am remembering names and faces. You know, I'm starting to. But, you know, I'm like developing my brain more. You know, I even got Lumosity.com. So yeah, you know what? On Lumosity.com with problem solving, it has like attention span, memory, problem solving, a few other things, flexibility. And with problem solving, I'm 24, so I am 95% better than I'm in like the 95 percentile with problem solving of people in my age group. You know what I mean? So that's like something that I'm fucking good at. You know, I can do math and problem solving and like estimate time. You know, I'm like really good at those type of things.
Well, it's only a 2-year difference. I'm 26, and you said you're 24, 23, right?
Yeah, I'm 24 now. I turned 24 June 21st.
Just a number, doesn't mean anything.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, cool. Now I got the volume even working better. Okay, cool. But yeah, that's good.
Now, the next question I was going to ask you is, have you ever gotten the chance to wrestle with any of your idols, or have you gotten the chance to hang out with them?
Yeah, I mean, you know, I got to hang out with like Matt Hardy a few times. I got to hang out with the son of Rey Mysterio, like the actual son of the original Rey Mysterio. So he's like Rey Mysterio Jr.'s cousin. And it was funny. It's a funny story because I was with this guy Caveman in New York City, and also this guy Mascara Celicio, and they're both like Spanish dudes, and they all speak Spanish and all that stuff. And Rey Mysterio, or son of Rey Mysterio, he's all like he speaks like a lot of Spanish, but he also speaks some English. And I remember like Mascara and Caveman were just like total marks. They were acting like total marks to Rey Mysterio, and Damien 666 was there too. Apparently he's like the Hulk Hogan of Mexico, and they were actually sharing a room together right by like Yankee Stadium. And the dude was like, "Yo, bro, you should come on down. Just if you come on down to the hotel, just don't bring Caveman, don't bring Mascara Celicio." And I was like, "Yeah, yo, that's fucking awesome, bro. I'll come down, man." And we were just bullshitting, and I don't know, like he actually told me, he was like, "Hey, if I'm ever out in like Tijuana, fucking hit him up. I could fucking train with him or something." You know what I mean? And I kind of want to go to Cali and fucking do that. I would love to get into Mexico and start wrestling out there, because that's the type of wrestling that like really gets my mind flowing, man. Like it's a challenge, man. Doing the lucha libre, man, it's crazy. It's not just like you're doing a fucking lock up into a headlock into a shoulder tackle and fucking raw, and cheer. It's like you fucking lock up. Fucking fuck the headlock, just fucking triple them, hit the fucking ropes, they do a drop down, you do a fucking roll over them, they do a fucking leapfrog as you fucking run under them and shit, and into a fucking crazy ass arm drag, fucking right back up into a pass by, into a fucking springboard, whatever, you know what I mean? So it's like, it's a lot different, it's a lot more like memorizing, and it's a lot more of a challenge, to be able to go out there and compete all that stuff, or do all that stuff, and I could do it, man. I could go out there and like I had matches where I hit every single move and stuff that I wanted to do, and there's also a lot of people that say like, oh, well, that's like spot wrestling. Well, if you just go out there and if you don't interact with the crowd, and you know what I mean, and you just go out there and just focus on doing those spots, like without caring where the crowd is at the time, then like it kind of is spot wrestling. But when you're out there and you're working the crowd, and like right before I do something cool, it's like, or like say I'm getting my ass kicked for a second, right before I do something cool, I give the guy like 2 fucking shots in the belly, he hits me in the back one more time, yells to the crowd, "Shut up!" Like, "Yeah, you shut up," then he whips me off and I fucking reverse him and do something fucking awesome. They're like, yeah, you know what I mean? Because it's like we just like build them up, to get excited, And so when you do things like that, like I wouldn't say that I do spot wrestling. I go out there and I fucking work the crowd, but I do my fucking spots, I do my moves, I go out there knowing what I want to do and knowing what I want to accomplish. Like a lot of people probably even think it's hard to work with me, just, and I find it's hard to work with them just because like their mind's like blocked, like they just want to go out there and do a fucking body slam. Well, I don't want to go out there and do a fucking body slam. Why the fuck am I wrestling you now? Now you're wasting my fucking time. Now I'm taking off of work, fucking come out to this wrestling show to wrestle some fucking asshole who fucking doesn't want to do anything. I want to do fucking all these things. I want to have a great fucking match, But, and, it happens. Like, that's one of the reasons why I stopped wrestling in North Carolina, just because a lot of the guys that I wrestle out there with just wouldn't want to do shit. They want to go out there and do a straight up old school match. They're like, "Oh, you have like any moves that you do? Fucking, because, we'll just go out there, we'll just call everything out there, blah, blah, blah." And, I'm like, nah. So, like, eventually I started saying, nah, this is exactly what I do. And when they wouldn't let me get my moves in, I would get my fucking moves in anyway. You know what I mean? Like, especially guys that are fucking, like, I'm only, like, 5'9", so I'd be wrestling guys who are, like, majority about 6 foot. So, I lay it into people. I'm not going to punch a guy as hard as I can in the nose, but I'll punch him in the fucking forehead or the fucking neck. You know what I mean? Like, I ain't no fucking pussy. We're out there wrestling, we're putting on a fucking show, and, it's usually all love in the back, too. Like, if I fucking hit somebody hard or if they hit me hard and I fucking return the shot, we're not going to go in the back fucking fighting over it. It's just like, you fucking got me, bro. Like, yo, I got you back, though. You know what I mean? It's just like, it's all love and shit, man. It's all just happiness, just having a good time.
That's true. Now, wrapping up, do you have any funny stories you'd like to share?
Well,
You mentioned interacting with the fans, and I saw a couple of videos where the fans would yell at Batista, "I hate you, Batista," and he would stop, and he would turn around and say, "I hate you too."
Yeah.
I remember one fan said to Jericho, "Go back to Toronto," and he says, "Go, I'm from Winnipeg, you idiot."
Yeah. Jeez, man. I don't know, man. I got tons of stories, man. Fucking doing wrestling shows and all that. Just, I don't know. Ask me a question, I could probably come up with a story out of it.
Hey, well, what about the time you did a move but you fucked up? It was a funny story anyway.
A crazy move that I fucked up on?
Yeah.
Okay. Here, I'll give you something better. I'll give you a crazy move that I attempted that somebody else fucked up on. I was in a triple threat match down by the shore of New Jersey, and I'm one of the guys that, like, I haven't, like, back when I started in 2006, and I think he might have started in 2007 or 2008, this guy, Marcus Streets. And he's a cool dude, man. He was, like, my boy in Maryland and shit. And, I started taking him along with me and just, like, just working with him, just trying to get him more experience. And, I was taking him to North Carolina, like, we were just wrestling each other, like, everywhere, and we ended up wrestling each other out in Jersey. But they didn't just want a singles match in Jersey. They wanted it to be, well, I guess they saw him do ladder matches at the House of Pain, and he would do some crazy-ass stunts in these fucking ladder matches. So they're like, all right, well, hey, Marcus, we want you in a ladder match for NWS with the Jersey Kid and, who was it, DJ Smoothie. So I'm like, all right, yeah, cool, let's do it. And Marcus had this idea where he was like, all right, well, hey, towards the end of the match, it's just going to be me and DJ in the ring, so we got to do something cool to take you out. And so we're like, why don't we, like, do something where all the ladders are out of the ring, fucking DJ and Marcus are both out of the ring, and, so it's like I can't go for the fucking belts anyway, so hit a fucking suicide dive. So I was like, okay, all right. So, but, to take me out with the suicide dive, so how can we take me out with the suicide dive other than Marcus holding up a fucking ladder? So I'm like, oh, man, all right, so you want me to do a suicide dive onto a fucking ladder? I'm like, all right, but you're going to be holding it, right? So I figure as long as he's holding the ladder, I could fucking jump through the ropes, and I could... What ended up happening was, when I dove through the ropes, instead of holding, like, the ladder up there, Marcus just threw the fucking ladder and fucking moved from underneath the ladder. So I just saw the ladder coming at me, and I put up my hands to try to catch, like the bar of the ladder, and it just went right under my thumbs and knocked my fucking front tooth out. And then I landed right on, like, the hard ground on top of the ladder. You know what I mean? And I lost my fucking front tooth. So, that's like a little story.
Well, we're wrapping up. Do you have anything you want to say to your fans and listeners?
Well, right now, I'm taking a little bit of break. I'm really trying to get more in touch with myself, like, spiritually. I'm doing yoga, I'm doing physical therapy, I'm trying to meditate. I'm doing all these different things. I'm learning guitar because I'm actually sitting on my ass right now. I'm doing physical therapy, so I can't really, like, run and exercise the way how I should be. But and I guess, hey, I'll be back in the ring, before you know it, man. Like, I still got a long life ahead of me, so, I'll be back in the ring before you guys know it, and I'll be doing fucking awesome-ass moves, so, fuck, man. I'll probably change my name, too, pretty soon. I might even start going as Chris Christopoulos, maybe add some type of gimmick in there. I was thinking maybe something where, like, I live 5 years in the future, and I just came back in time just to, like, guide myself in the right path in a way, or I don't know, like, just something crazy. But, Well, you afraid of the dogs, dude? Oh, okay.